barbecue. It's the best ever. So just a little bit for Jeremy there.
Yeah. Oh, I can't. I just cannot wait.
Yeah. It's mouth watering. You won't believe it. You don't want to have like barbecue tuna fish in it with the tuna with the the tater tot casserole.
Okay. So you keep them separate.
Keep them separate.
Sure. Okay.
This will be kind of a side dish for you.
Yeah. Good.
I'm sure your taste buds right now are just popping out.
Salivate.
This is going to break you in as being a son-in-law.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I've got receipts. Yes, actual receipts today. That's right, these are documents straight from Elm Springs District Court in Elm Springs, Washington County, Arkansas. The court clerk sent over multiple records, including signed warrants for both Joseph and Kendra, the listed charges, information about their upcoming court dates, and I also received a copy of Kendra's release conditions, which honestly might surprise some of you. There's been a lot of talk and speculation about what those conditions could be, especially whether she's allowed any contact with her children. And now we finally have those answers. On top of that, Jason Duggar and his wife Maddie released a statement, and out of everything we've seen so far, theirs is definitely the strongest. It might even be the most IBLP style, almost cult-like statement yet. It clearly sends a message to his brother, using that familiar fundy language, showing exactly how he feels, while also taking a stand for the victims. Now, their statement is also the longest. It's the most direct, the most intense, and we'll have to see how that lines up with what happens moving forward. Okay, so I'm in a position where I can run these statements by different people and get their perspectives on what it all means. And one thing I hear again and again is this: words are one thing, but do your actions actually match what you're saying? Because if you're publicly condemning something you've seen or experienced, what are you actually doing in your own life to change things, to adjust your environment, to make sure your wife, your kids, and yourself are truly safe? And what does that look like going forward? At the end of the day, words without action don't carry much weight. Words alone are meaningless. And I bring this up because Jason spoke out very strongly against Josh, but after that, nothing really changed in his life. He continued attending church with the Duggars, he stayed in the same circles, he kept associating with the same types of men who were involved in the same kind of behavior. It's easy to say the right things when people are watching. Now, this is obviously going to upset Jim Bob since it goes against his stance, but realistically, I don't think Jason will face the same consequences his sisters do. Because when the sisters speak out like this, they often end up being pushed out of the family. So first, let's break down what's happening with Kendra. Because according to the documents I received, I have a copy of her arrest warrant along with the official charges. So let's start there. The warrants for both Kendra and Joseph were issued on March 20th, 2026, and as we already know, she's facing 8 total charges. The paperwork shows that her total bail is set at $1,470. It states that there are reasonable grounds to believe that the individual named has committed the listed offenses, and orders law enforcement to arrest and bring her before Judge Tara Stevenson of the Washington County District Court, Elm Springs Department, to proceed according to the law. Now, within this court system, there are different ways cases like this can be handled. There are varying levels and classifications. For example, with third-degree or fourth-degree charges, there isn't always a requirement for immediate appearance. Sometimes there's just a scheduled court date, along with certain conditions after being released on bond. And in some cases, it can even be resolved with a fine. Okay? So, not every charge filed in this court automatically results in an arrest. But in this situation, because it's classified as second degree, it does require an arrest. And just to note, both warrants are essentially identical in what they include. The filing was made on the 20th under false imprisonment, specifically Statute 526-527-206, which covers false imprisonment, endangerment, and child endangerment. There are 4 counts for each category. Her bail was calculated through multiple fees, including a $500 fine, $100 in court costs, technology fees, a $100 child victim fund fee, plus additional jail-related charges, two $20 fees, $40 for booking and administration, a $10 Taneytown jail fee, bringing totals that combine into $1,470. Breaking that down further, $785 is tied to the endangerment charges, and $685 to the false imprisonment charges. According to these documents, she is required to appear in court in April.
Okay, when she was processed, the paperwork lists the case as the State of Arkansas versus Kendra Duggar. She is ordered to appear in Washington County District Court on April 29, 2026 at 2 p.m. That will be her arraignment. And one of the most important conditions listed is that she is to have absolutely no contact, no phone calls, no texts, no in-person interaction, no emails, no third-party communication with the unnamed victims. This is a cash bond, and under Rule 9.5 of Arkansas Criminal Procedure, any violation of these conditions could result in additional charges, bond revocation, and immediate jail time.
She signed and agreed to these terms. There are also standard conditions listed for other offenses, though they don't apply to her case. For example, a third-degree welfare charge would include a no-contact order lasting until the case is resolved. But in her situation, there is no defined end date for the no-contact order. So that earlier mention of an 8.1 hearing date appears to be incorrect because her actual arraignment is set for April 29, 2026. This type of condition is very different from lower-level cases. Here, the no-contact order is indefinite. It remains in place until a judge decides otherwise. If it were a lesser charge, it would end when the case concludes. But in this situation, the judge has full discretion to keep, modify, or remove it, or even make it permanent if she's convicted. More importantly, this falls under Rule 9.5, meaning any violation opens the door to entirely new charges. That could include stalking, which involves attempting to locate or approach the protected individual. First-degree stalking, especially if threats are involved, is a felony. Repeated communication, whether in person or electronically, could be charged as harassment, which is a misdemeanor. Knowingly breaking a no-contact order itself is a Class A misdemeanor. If there's any attempt to influence testimony or interfere with the case, that could escalate into serious felony charges like witness tampering. There's also contempt of court, which can bring additional jail time. And if new charges are filed, they are treated as separate offenses, meaning sentences could stack. A violation like that would stay on record permanently, damage credibility, and impact future legal matters. So yes, this is extremely strict. If she attempts to contact her children in any way, she risks immediate arrest, bond revocation, and new criminal charges. It may sound harsh, but it strongly suggests that whatever happened here goes far beyond something minor. This isn't just about a door or a small incident. There's clearly more involved for a restriction this serious to be in place. She agreed to these conditions. The judge approved them. There's no indication that anyone else is responsible for overseeing her compliance, meaning she is fully accountable for following these rules herself. Her next court appearance remains April 29th at 2 p.m. As for Joseph, since he is already incarcerated, he is automatically unable to contact the victims. And while I'm not a lawyer or affiliated with DCFS, based on Arkansas law, it's very clear at this point that she does not have access to her children.